How y'all doing? It's Coach Hyde. Tell me your name.
Rowan.
Rowan here to talk about some science. Right, got my new science shirt on. Right, my wife made that for me. She's awesome. All right, so we are in starting Unit 2. So this is your introduction to Unit 2, macromolecules. Right, macromolecules. Right. So there's going to be four macromolecules we're going to talk about this unit. We got our lipids. All right, lipids are our fats. We got our proteins. Proteins do all kind of things, from fingernails to hairs to muscle tissue to receptors on our cells to all kind of stuff. Huh? Yeah, protein is cool. That's what she said. You got our nucleic acid. We're going to hit on those a little bit today. Take care of those. And then you got carbohydrates, which will be the second lesson, I believe. Yeah. All right, so hopefully that's a rainbow. This looks similar to a rainbow, like two rainbows twisted around each other, right? Yeah. So hopefully the structure looks kind of familiar. This is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. And what I want you to notice, or hope you notice, is that as this DNA comes down, it's a very, very long molecule. It looks the same, right? Like it's the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. And if you recognize that, that is good, because that is what we're going to be talking about, and that is a polymer. So, macromolecules are biological polymers. Yes.
I want to talk too.
What do you got to say?
What is that?
So this is a polymer, right? Macromolecules are biological polymer. And what a polymer is a long chain molecule, right? And it's made of repeating units. And those repeating units are called monomers. So you see that each one of these little green oval looking situations is a monomer. And if we string them together into this long chain, it becomes a polymer. Mono meaning one, poly meaning many. So take a monomer, add another monomer, add another monomer, add another one, and so on and so forth, and you get a polymer. Tell them.
You get a polymer with the rainbow.
That's right, that's right. So here we have two monomers. We have glucose and fructose. And what you'll learn with Mr. Clemens is we know these are sugars, they're carbohydrates, because they end in OSC. But that's not our focus right now, just a little preview. So we have our two monomers, right? We're going to put those monomers together, right, over and over and over again to form a polymer. This is a process called polymerization, right? So if you can read this, polymerization ends in ation, ation. Any word that ends in ation, that means an action. So this is the action, oops.
Dad,
This is the action of making a polymer, right? The action of making a polymer. So, and how this polymer is made, how we put those monomers together is something called dehydration synthesis. So dehydration means removing water. Y'all know that. Y'all get dehydrated. Y'all run out of water, right? Especially you athletes, people out there on the band field, cheerleaders. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Synthesis means to make. So we are making a polymer, right, by removing water. So you can see as they come together, right here, right there, water comes out. We got two hydrogens and an oxygen.
Yeah, that's.
And when that happens, it bonds them together. So that's dehydration synthesis.
Yeah.
Well, if we can bond them by removing water,
Yeah, you see that right there?
we can bust them by inserting water. This is ATP molecule, adenosine triphosphate. Anytime you see ATP or hear ATP anytime this year, the first thing that should pop into your head
Daddy,
is energy.
I want to press the button.
Okay. Wait, not yet. This is the molecule in our bodies
Touch, touch, touch.
that holds the chemical energy for everything we do. ATP. So what we have here, we have a little mini polymer, right? We got a P and a P and a P, repeating bases, right? Uh-oh.
What?
Went too far. And when we add water into there, right? So we're going to add water, right? We're going to bust it open. And this is called hydrolysis. Hydro meaning water, lysis meaning split.
Should be over here.
So this is a good example of the two. So here we have two simple sugars, right? This time we are joining them. When we join them, water comes out, right? Remember? So that's dehydrating it when we make it. That's dehydration synthesis. So, watch again. We're going to come together. Two of these H's, H2O, and one of the O's pop off. Dehydration synthesis. Then, if we want to bust it open, we want to lyse it, we take that water back in there and we break that bond. And that's hydrolysis. Or hydrolysis, I guess some people call it. I don't know, I say hydrolysis.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
You can't reach over there. So just to review real quick what we got. I know you can't read this, so I'm going to put the PDF version of this PowerPoint on hydescience.org. So you can go on there and you can check and make sure you got your definitions right in your notes. But what we got first are monomer, polymer, polymerization. So remember, monomers are like the base blocks, the building blocks. So it says molecule that can be bonded together with other similar things, other identical things. When we bond them monomers together and form a chain, a long molecule, this becomes a polymer. The process of making a polymer we can refer to as polymerization. Remember, ation means action. It's the action of making a polymer. Then we got dehydration, synthesis, and hydrolysis. Remember, dehydration and synthesis means to make. Synthesis means to make. Dehydration means remove water. So we're going to make that bond by removing water. Hydrolysis, hydro referring to water, lysis referring to split or bust. We're going to break those bonds apart by inserting water, by adding water. And of course down here, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This is in all living tissues. This is the energy chemical compound of life. It's in everything. Everything that needs or uses energy is in the form of ATP. So you hear ATP? Energy. All right, Rose, can you hit it? Hit that one. Can you reach it? Get the marker.
Oh.
Hit that button. The top one. Oh, too far. Okay, good. So now DNA. So we kind of talked on our introduction to macromolecules, these biological polymers. I gotta move to this side. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So, move this one over there.
Yay.
So this is DNA. This is how we're used to seeing DNA here. And as I mentioned earlier, hopefully you see it's this molecule of repeating units, right? But if we look a little closer, we can dive into these units. We can identify what is the monomer, what is the building blocks of DNA. And what we come with, but careful, I gotta move you over. Gotta move you over. Okay, I gotta be able to show them. So, we end up with these backbones, right? What do you want to show them? Yep. So this is what letter?
S.
S. What's that? P?
4.
P?
No, that's 4.
It's a P, right? So we have this sugar
No,
and
no.
phosphate backbone. And then we have a
No,
nitrogenous
that's
base.
P. No, that's
Right?
S.
So we have sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate, all the way down, right? Making this backbone of the helix. And then inside, attached to the sugar, we have a base. And the bases are going to be guanine, or G. C is cytosine. A, adenine. T is thymine. So these things come together and they are attracted and they bond, making them hook together and having our double helix. So DNA is a polymer. It's a repeating unit of a sugar, phosphate, and a base. We call this sugar, phosphate, and a base a nucleotide. All right. So, to remember that, we have a song. And I'm going to sing this song. It's to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. All right, you ready? Want me to sing?
Yep.
All right, so, can we get a microphone?
Okay.
So, we love DNA made of nucleotides, sugar, phosphate, and a base bonded down one side. Adenine and thymine make a lovely pair. Cytosine without guanine would feel very bare. So, we have our DNA, which is our polymer. It is made of nucleotides. Nucleotides are a sugar, phosphate, and a base. It's a monomer, right? Made of sugar, phosphate, and a base. I don't know.
I made it big.
Right. Then they're bonded down one side, forming our polymer. Right. Adenine and thymine bond together, pulling the two strands together, and so does cytosine and guanine.
Go back while you're on.
All right.
Oh, I should turn back.
Okay. So again, I know this might be difficult to read. First, I made this video like 75 times. I'm not doing it again.
You just did
So,
it.
again, this is going to be on hydescience. So if you want to get a better version of this,
Oh, God.
go check it out. Right. But we just have another review. We said it. All right. So DNA
Yep.
is one of 4 macromolecules we'll be learning about in Unit 2. Macromolecules are biological polymers. We know what a polymer is now, right? A long-chain molecule.
Daddy.
When we say a biological polymer, we just mean life. Things that are living. Polymers. These polymers are inside of it, or they're essential to those processes of
I
life.
want to press the buttons.
Polymers are long-chain repeating units we refer to as monomers. Polymers are made by bonding these monomers together by dehydration synthesis.
Ah.
Polymers can be broken down into monomers by hydrolysis. DNA and RNA are a category, one of the 4 categories of polymers we call nucleic acids. You have DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid, and you have RNA, which is ribonucleic acid. Nucleic acids are polymers. They're made of the monomers we call nucleotides. Nucleotides have a sugar, phosphate, and a base. Adenine and thymine are attracted together. Cytosine and guanine are attracted together. So one of our old teachers who's now at our middle school, Miss Scotty Ann Benton, right? Got a little saying to help us remember it. So it's AT at GC Georgia College. Got a little local college down the road. So at Georgia College, cool little thing to help you remember that.
Hey, I want to do
Hit it.
I want to do it.
Hit that one. Hit it again. Hit it. Hit it. All right. So that's it. So that's your introduction to macromolecules. So hopefully you learned
So much.
what is a macromolecule, what is a polymer, right? What is a monomer?
So much.
Learn the process of dehydration synthesis and hydrolysis, right? Synthesis means to make. Remember that. You're going to hear that word a lot. And we talked about nucleic acids, DNA, RNA. You know what their monomer is, the nucleotide.
Yeah, let's turn this off.
That's it. All right, so this.
They're all right there.
Tell them bye.
Bye.
Bye. Remember, hydescience.org. Check it out. You can find the PDF version of this, PowerPoint, so for your vocab or whatnot. See y'all next time.